That's right, Tracy. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court is inside that courtroom behind me. They're here for a special dedication today. Now, in Pennsylvania, voters elect Supreme Court justices. Voters have elected a Democratic majority on that court. However, in 8 weeks, voters will decide whether some of those justices keep their jobs.
The future of Pennsylvania's Supreme Court is on the ballot this fall, but it's not a traditional election.
What are voters going to be deciding this fall?
Retention races are different than other elections, right? This isn't a choice between two different candidates. This is simply an up or down, yes or no. Do you think these three judges individually should get another 10-year term on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court?
Lauren Christella is the president and CEO of Committee of 70, a nonpartisan watchdog group that held a forum with all three justices up for retention last night. She also sits on a Philadelphia Bar Association commission that evaluates candidates for judge.
Their impartiality is really what you should be looking at, right? Have they brought their ideology into the courtroom? Is that something you want to evaluate them on?
Ultimately, though, could this really just come down to politics? Because the Republican Party in the state is saying you should reject them. The Democratic Party is saying you should keep them.
I mean, certainly the amount of money and the advertising is going to have an effect. We know it always does. I would hope that voters are going to make decisions for themselves and be informed and make their own decisions based on what they think makes a good Supreme Court justice.
Pennsylvania's Supreme Court has 7 justices. 3 of them are up for retention: Justice David Wecht, Justice Christine Donahue, and Justice Kevin Dougherty.
What I'd like to do with the remainder of my term is to ensure that the efforts that we have made in terms of interpreting and applying the Pennsylvania Constitution continue.
The retention vote is for Pennsylvanians and Pennsylvanians only to judge our judges based upon our oath to the Constitution, to uphold it and to apply the law equally and fairly. I believe the 3 of us have done that.
All we have is judgment, interpreting the law fairly. That's the agenda.
All 3 ran as Democrats when they won their seats. They don't run with parties in a retention election, but the parties are taking sides.
It's a big election in November. We have to elect our judges and vote no, no, no on the radical Supreme Court justices.
That's the head of the state Republican Party urging people to vote no to reject the justices, while the Pennsylvania Democratic Party is urging people to vote yes to retain the 3 who they say, quote, secured women's reproductive freedom and personal health care decisions, among other things.
So if voters reject any of these justices, there would be a new election in 2027. Now, in the meantime, the governor could appoint someone to the position, but it would have to be approved by the Senate. Now, the governor is a Democrat, the Senate is controlled by Republicans, so if they don't agree, there could be a vacancy for a while. Live at City Hall, I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.